Kara Mason entered the next chamber of the alien arena, her senses alert. Unlike the first trial, this room was vast and dimly lit, with a low hum that vibrated through the metal floor. Strange devices lined the walls, their purpose unknown. The alien commander Zathor observed silently from a raised platform. His gaze was sharp, testing her resolve. "This trial," Zathor announced, his voice echoing, "will test your adaptability and your intelligence under pressure. You must navigate through hazards while ensuring the survival of others. Failure is not an option." Kara's heart quickened, but she forced herself to remain calm. She had survived the first trial through courage and careful observation. This trial, however, demanded more than skill. It demanded foresight and compassion. The chamber shifted suddenly. Panels slid open, revealing alien drones carrying containers with human and alien simulators inside. The containers emitted a soft glow, indicating they were active. Kara realized immediately she would have to guide these simulators safely across the room while avoiding traps. The floor trembled slightly, and glowing lines appeared, marking areas that would become electrified or collapse. Kara took a deep breath and surveyed the room. Every move had to be calculated. The aliens had designed this trial to push her mental limits, not just her agility. She approached the first simulator, a holographic figure representing a young alien soldier. Kara's hand hovered over the controls projected in midair. With careful precision, she adjusted the path, guiding the figure away from a collapsing platform. Sparks flew nearby and the drone shifted to block her way, but she ducked and continued forward, keeping her focus steady. As she guided the simulators, she noticed patterns in the hazards. The aliens had created a rhythm to the challenges, moving obstacles, shifting energy barriers, and sudden drops. But they did not anticipate a human mind would analyze and predict these patterns quickly. Kara used her observation skills to move the simulators efficiently, keeping them safe while avoiding the deadly traps herself. Halfway through the trial, an unexpected challenge appeared. A massive energy barrier descended, threatening to cut off the path entirely. Kara paused, scanning for an alternative route. She spotted a narrow ledge above the barrier, unstable but passable. Balancing carefully, she lifted the simulators one by one onto the ledge. Her heart pounded with the risk, but she refused to falter. The aliens watched intently. Some soldiers murmured among themselves, clearly impressed by Kara's ingenuity. Zathor's eyes narrowed slightly, a subtle sign of curiosity and respect. Humans were adaptable, yes, but they rarely displayed such calm intelligence under extreme pressure. Kara's performance was beginning to shift their perception. Suddenly, a mechanical arm shot across the floor, attempting to push one of the simulators into a pit. Kara reacted instantly, diving to block the arm with her own body. The impact knocked her to the ground, but the simulator remained safe. She rolled to her feet and continued, adrenaline sharpening her focus. As the trial progressed, Kara realized the final challenge involved both humans and aliens working together. The simulators moved in tandem, requiring her to coordinate their actions precisely. She used simple gestures and calculated timing, guiding each figure through the complex pattern of hazards. Her mind worked like a machine, anticipating obstacles before they appeared. The final stretch of the arena opened into a large chamber filled with floating platforms and rotating energy rings. Kara's eyes widened. This was the ultimate test: speed, precision, and strategy combined. The simulators had to reach the center platform simultaneously. One mistake and they would fail. Kara took a deep breath, assessing the situation. She divided the simulators into groups, analyzing the safest sequence for each. With clear commands and precise timing, she guided them through the rotating rings and floating platforms. Sparks flew and energy barriers flashed, but Kara moved with fluid confidence, anticipating each shift before it happened. Finally, all the simulators reached the center platform safely. A hum of approval filled the chamber and the obstacles retracted. Kara exhaled, a mixture of relief and triumph flooding her. She had not only survived the trial but had ensured the success of others, showing humanity's strength in intelligence, adaptability, and empathy. Zathor stepped forward from his platform, his posture formal but his tone unexpectedly measured. "Human," he said, "you have exceeded expectations. Your species is remarkable. Many of my kind believed humans weak, limited to brute force. You have proven otherwise." Kara straightened, her mind still racing from the intensity of the trial. "Thank you, Commander Zathor. I only did what was necessary. That is how humans survive and protect each other. The alien commander studied her for a long moment. Courage, intelligence, and empathy. These are traits we value. Perhaps humanity has a place here after all. The alien soldiers surrounding him lowered their weapons slightly, a subtle acknowledgement of Kara's achievement. Some exchanged looks of admiration, clearly recognizing her skill and bravery. Kara felt a surge of satisfaction, not just for herself but for humanity. She had shown that even in the face of a species far stronger and more experienced, humans could rise to the challenge and earn respect through courage, intelligence, and quick thinking. As she stepped out of the arena, Kara was led to a quiet chamber where she could rest. She sank onto a bench, her muscles sore but her spirit invigorated. The trials had been grueling, but she had proven a vital point. Humanity would not be underestimated. Minutes later, Zathor entered the chamber. His imposing presence seemed softer now, his armor reflecting the dim light without its usual sharp authority. "Lieutenant Mason," he said, "you have demonstrated that humans are more than what we expected. Your courage and intelligence are inspiring. You may leave this arena with honor and a measure of trust from my people." Kara rose, meeting his gaze. "Thank you, Commander. I hope this is the beginning of a new understanding between our species." Zathor nodded slowly. "It may be. Your actions have proven one thing clearly. To underestimate humans is to make a grave mistake. We will watch you closely from now on." Kara allowed herself a small smile. The trials were over, but the real journey had just begun. She had earned respect, not through threats or weapons, but through human ingenuity, courage, and determination. She had shown that even a single human, standing tall and refusing to yield, could make a difference in a galaxy filled with fear and prejudice. As she walked back to the docking bay, Kara reflected on what had happened. She had entered the alien arena as a diplomat with a reputation for skill. She emerged not only with her life intact, but with a newfound understanding between species. Humanity had a place here not through domination, but through respect earned in action. Outside the station, the stars stretched endlessly, a reminder of the vast challenges and opportunities that awaited. Kara knew that the road ahead would not be easy. More trials, more negotiations, and more tests of courage were inevitable. But for the first time, she felt the quiet thrill of hope. Humans were not weak. They were capable, clever, and unyielding when it mattered most. Somewhere aboard the alien ship, Zathor observed the retreating human. His expression remained unreadable, but a spark of recognition glimmered in his eyes. This human was different, brave, clever, and fearless. Perhaps the galaxy had underestimated humanity for too long. Kara's journey had only begun, but she had proven the first and most important truth. Humans, even when small in number and new to the galaxy, could stand tall, face the impossible, and earn respect through courage, intelligence, and determination. And as she looked out at the stars, she knew one thing clearly. The first mistake the alien commander had made was thinking humans could be controlled or feared. Kara Mason had shown that humanity's real strength lay not in weapons but in heart, mind, and unshakable will. The galaxy had taken notice, and this human was only getting started. Lieutenant Kara Mason stood at the edge of the observation deck, staring out at the vast darkness of space. Stars flickered like distant lanterns, but her mind was far from the beauty around her. Humanity had just established a small research and trading outpost near the edge of the alien-controlled sector, a bold step into unknown territory. The outpost was fragile, built quickly with limited resources, and tensions with the alien forces were high. Kara knew the next few hours could decide the fate of the humans in this sector. The alien vessel approached silently, a massive ship shaped like a dark crescent, its surface glinting faintly under the station's artificial lights. The crew aboard the station held their breath as the ship docked. A hatch opened with a hiss and armored figures began to descend. At the forefront was the commander, Zathor. His presence alone demanded attention. His armor shimmered in colors humans could barely describe, and his eyes, large and intelligent, watched every movement with careful calculation. Kara adjusted her stance, her hands relaxed but ready. She had been sent not as a soldier but as a diplomat, yet everyone knew her reputation as someone who could think fast under pressure. She entered the docking bay, the alien soldiers flanking her on either side. Zathor's gaze swept across her, sizing her up with a mixture of suspicion and quiet authority. "You are human. Zathor said, his voice deep and resonant. I have heard of your species. You are fragile. You are impulsive. Yet here you stand alone in my presence. Kara kept her expression calm. I am Lieutenant Kara Mason. I come in peace and to discuss terms for coexistence in this sector. Zathor's eyes narrowed. Peace, your presence alone is an intrusion. My orders are clear. Disarm her. Kara froze for a moment, then slowly raised her hands. She did not move toward any weapon, but she did not lower her stance either. Her eyes met Zathor's without fear. That's your first mistake, she said, her voice steady. A murmur ran through the alien soldiers. Humans rarely spoke with such boldness, and even rarer, they did so without trembling. Zathor tilted his head, intrigued but cautious. He signaled with a hand and the soldiers paused. You are daring, Zathor said. Few would defy an order so openly. Explain yourself. I have no intention to fight, Kara replied. I am not a threat, but I will not be treated as inferior or as a mindless target. If you wish to understand humans, you must see our strength beyond our weapons. The aliens exchanged confused glances. Kara could sense the hesitation in their movements. Her knowledge of alien behavior, though limited, gave her a small advantage. Alien cultures valued directness, respect, and intelligence over brute force. By showing confidence without aggression, she had already gained a slight opening. Zathor walked closer, his steps deliberate and measured. You are brave, human. Some would call it foolishness. Maybe, Kara admitted, or maybe it is understanding. I know how your species tests outsiders. I am ready to prove my value in whatever way you see fit. For a moment, the air was thick with tension. The alien soldiers looked at each other, unsure of what to do. Zathor, however, seemed to be weighing his options. Then he spoke. Very well. You will face our trials. Not for your life yet, but to earn the right to be here, to show your kind is worthy of respect. Kara nodded. I accept. Zathor signaled to a side door, and the crew opened it to reveal an enormous arena. The floor was polished metal, crisscrossed with intricate patterns that glowed faintly. At first glance, it seemed empty, but Kara noticed small drones hovering near the walls, scanning everything in the room. The arena was designed for observation, monitoring every action of those inside. This is where you will be tested, Zathor said. You will face challenges of strength, of intelligence, of strategy. You will have no weapons beyond your wits and your body. Survive and you may leave with honor. Fail, and you will learn the cost of underestimating us. Kara stepped into the arena carefully, studying the layout. Her mind raced, thinking of all possibilities. She knew the aliens would not rely solely on physical strength. Their trials would demand creativity, quick decision-making, and calm under pressure. Every move she made now would send a message, not just to the aliens, but to humanity. The first trial began almost immediately. From the walls, panels slid open, revealing a series of obstacles. Moving platforms, suspended beams, and walls of shifting energy. A timer displayed in alien numerals counting down. Kara understood quickly. She had to navigate the course, reach the other side, and complete a series of tasks. She moved with precision, her training as a soldier guiding her balance and coordination. She leapt from platform to platform, avoiding the sudden pulses of energy. The aliens watched closely, their expressions unreadable. Kara knew that every second mattered, and every choice she made could impress or disappoint her observers. Midway through the trial, a new challenge emerged. A holographic puzzle projected onto the floor. Symbols and patterns shifted rapidly, and Kara realized she had to decode the sequence to proceed. She crouched, focusing. Years of problem-solving in tense situations allowed her mind to work quickly. She noted the patterns, recognized the repetitions, and solved the puzzle with a calm efficiency that surprised even herself. When she completed the task, a low hum filled the arena, and the first obstacle retracted. Kara's heart pounded, not from fear but from the thrill of proving herself. She continued through the trials, each one testing a different aspect of her skill: physical agility, analytical thinking, and adaptability. Throughout it all, Kara observed the aliens closely. Some soldiers whispered among themselves, clearly impressed. Even Zathor seemed intrigued, leaning forward slightly as he watched her movements. This was exactly what Kara had hoped to achieve, showing humanity's strength in a way the aliens could not ignore. By the time she reached the end of the arena, Kara was exhausted, but unbroken. She had proven that humans could navigate challenges designed for far stronger and more physically dominant species. Sather stepped forward, his armor reflecting the arena lights. "You are skilled human," he said, his tone unreadable. "Your species is unexpected. Many of my kind would have failed. You have survived the first trial, but this is only the beginning." Kara straightened, catching her breath. "I am ready for whatever comes next," she replied. Zathor studied her for a long moment, then nodded. "Good. You may have more value than I first thought. Perhaps humanity deserves a chance in this sector." The alien soldiers withdrew and the arena lights dimmed. Kara was led to a chamber where she could rest and prepare for the next stage of the trials. Alone for a moment, she allowed herself a small smile. She had faced her first challenge, and not only had she survived, she had earned a measure of respect. But Kara knew the real trials were only beginning. If she wanted to protect the humans in this sector, she would have to continue proving that humanity's strength was more than just weapons and numbers. It was in courage, in intelligence, and in the ability to stand tall when others expected fear. Outside the chamber, the alien commander's voice echoed faintly. "Remember, human, underestimating us is dangerous, but underestimating you may be equally dangerous." Kara clenched her fists, feeling the weight of responsibility. She was alone in a world that did not trust humans, facing beings far stronger and more experienced. Yet she also felt something stronger than fear: determination. Humanity would not be underestimated, and she would see to it personally. The stars outside the station flickered, distant but constant. Kara gazed at them for a moment, drawing strength from the vastness of space. One human stood in the arena of an alien commander, but she carried the hopes of an entire species. And if this was the first step in proving humanity's worth, then she would take it boldly, without hesitation. The chamber door opened and Kara rose. A new trial awaited, but she was ready. The humans had arrived in this sector and they would not be ignored. With a steady breath, Kara stepped forward, determined to face whatever the alien commander had prepared next. She knew one thing clearly. Raising her hands in defiance had been the first step, but it would not be the last. Humanity would prove itself, not through intimidation, but through courage, skill, and the refusal to bow to fear. And somewhere deep in the alien commander's mind, a new respect for humans began to grow quietly, like a spark ready to ignite.